Coming up on OU Nightly, with Kristi Noem out as Secretary of Homeland Security, find out which Oklahoma lawmaker President Trump is tapping to take over. And with tensions growing in Iran, hear from an Iranian professor at OU on what he believes led to the conflict.
Plus, an enhanced risk of severe weather is possible for portions of our state this evening. This is OU Nightly.
A major shakeup at the Department of Homeland Security. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Kiriana Gamboa. President Trump announcing on Truth Social Kristi Noem will be replaced by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. This comes after Noem was grilled by lawmakers during congressional hearings earlier this week. This means Governor Stitt has to replace the senator with someone else who will fill the position until the next statewide election in November. Governor Stitt reacting to Trump's post, saying Markwayne Mullin has been a fighter for Oklahoma and will fight to keep our nation secure. There isn't a better choice to lead the Department of Homeland Security. Stitt added, I will be looking to appoint a strong, small government conservative voice to support President Trump and protect Oklahomans' way of life.
Now, Kiriana, it's entering springtime here in Oklahoma, and with that comes severe weather.
That's right, Kevin. We have OU Nightly meteorologist Hunter Brittingham in studio tonight with the risk. Hunter, what are you tracking?
That is right, you guys. I'm tracking some severe weather later this evening and into the overnight hours. Our partners over at the Storm Prediction Center right here in Norman have portions of the state under an enhanced risk for severe weather. That's a level 3 out of 5, and that can induce some strong winds, large hail, and even some isolated tornadoes over the next several hours. If you've been outside this afternoon and into this evening, you've also noticed that it's very humid out there. So humidity at 66 right now in Norman, but we have a dry line setting up just across our panhandle, and that is going to fuel some of these storms later on as they push from west to east. And as they do, we will have all the details on OU Nightly, so stick around for the severe storm timing for tonight and into the day tomorrow, as well as a first look at a seasonable weekend.
Thanks, Hunter. A body was found at OU Health early Monday morning. In a statement, OU Health said the body was found by OU Health Environmental Services while cleaning a private bathroom. After finding the body, first responders were called and the person was pronounced dead. As of now, no official cause of death has been released, and OU Health says they are working closely with officials as they review the case. OU Nightly will continue to follow this story as it develops.
As tensions escalate in the Middle East, we're looking to history for clues about how this conflict could impact the world. I spoke with an Iranian history expert and a former war correspondent about what this moment could mean globally. The history between Iran and the U.S. is complicated and decades in the making. OU professor Afshin Marashi says the Iranian Revolution in 1979 was the beginning of what turned into the dictatorship we know today.
And the whole project of what began in 1979 has reached its end.
He says a younger generation is pushing back,
who are challenging that history and trying to create a new Iran.
Marashi tells me he believes the timing was right, saying the U.S. and Israel seized an opportunity to end Iran's nuclear program before it could advance further. However, Mike Betcher, a former network foreign correspondent, says even with that move, a return to stability will take time.
I see this air war missile battle going on for a few more weeks. I see the Iranians try to reconstitute their leadership and their military leadership. Usually what happens, both sides tire of this sort of a conflict and come out with some sort of peace agreement.
What remains uncertain right now is who will lead Iran next.
Maybe the Trump administration is sort of thinking of this as maybe one of the possibilities is that the regime might survive, but it will be weakened and unable to threaten anyone.
Betcher disagrees. He says if the regime feels cornered, there could be a global risk of terrorism, as that may be one of the few ways left to fight back. But both say it's too early to predict the outcome. Next week, we'll take a look how the escalation in the Middle East could potentially affect security here in the U.S.
The death toll rises to over 1,000 as war in Iran enters day 6. OU Nightly reporter Jack Hancock has more on the conflict in the Middle East.
Today, President Donald Trump said he should be involved in choosing Iran's next leader. The son of Iranian leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in a recent airstrike, is the most likely successor. President Trump told Axios this would be unacceptable, saying, quote, "Khamenei's son is a lightweight. I have to be involved in the appointment." It is unclear who the president would support to fill this role. Today, the State Department temporarily closed the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, urging U.S. citizens to leave the country if it is safe to do so. These warnings come as 6 American soldiers have been killed in conflict in the region. And earlier this week, an Iranian drone attacked a port in Kuwait. The U.S. are flying out stranded Americans in the country. Those who stay are being told to shelter in place. And moments ago, the U.S. House put the final nail in the coffin in the fight to require congressional approval for military action. Congress essentially said that the president has the ability and the authority to use military action in the Middle East without their approval. This comes after the Senate voted similarly yesterday. Both of these votes were largely along party lines. Kevin, Kiriana?
Thanks, Jack. And still to come, an unbelievable group is coming to help an important part of Oklahoma's ecosystem.
And if you're looking for a sweet treat this weekend, we have just the place for you to find any cookie you could desire when we return.
Goats in Oklahoma City are getting ready to move to the canal. These animals aren't just here for looks either. Gracie Stubblefield went to their facility today to get more information.
These goats have a big responsibility during the spring and summer months, but before they head to the canal, they have a separate facility they call home.
This is where we just keep them for the winter. There's no vegetation growing on the canal right now, so there's nothing for them to eat. And that's their primary job, is to go eat the vegetation on the canal.
When it's time to send the goats to the canal, there's a lot of preparation before they load up in the trailers.
It's always a big day because that's when we do a health checkup, so we trim their hooves, we make sure they've been wormed, any vaccinations that they're due, we do all that in-house, and we do that all on the moving day.
With 39 goats this year, the numbers have grown since the start, and they don't expect to slow down.
We started out with 17 original goats. There's no males in the herd right now, it's all females, so when we expand it again, which we plan on doing this year, we'll just go and get more female goats.
I'm here with one of the oldest goats in the pack, and they're pretty friendly in nature, but sometimes they can butt heads.
These goats aren't only necessary for the environment, but have become celebrities of their own in the Oklahoma City area.
I get calls weekly about, hey, how are our goats doing, what are we doing? And even some of the neighborhoods surrounding the canal, they'll call us, hey, when are our goats coming out? They are pretty, I would say, beloved by a lot of the community.
Thanks, Gracie. The weather is still too cold for the canal, and the goats are expected to move mid-April, where they'll stay for the next 8 to 9 months.
There might be a risk of severe storms this weekend, but that's not enough to keep Norman down. There are plenty of events taking place. Leah Smith has that in today's Around the Town report.
Thanks, Kariana. A little bit of Broadway is coming to Norman this weekend. Starting today and playing until Sunday is the Broadway musical 42nd Street. This musical will be live at Sooner Theater, and it will be put on by 8th to 12th graders, students out of the studio of Sooner Theater. Tickets start out at $22 and can be found on SoonerTheater.org. Saturday is the second annual Norman Cookie Fest. This event will be hosted by LoveWorks Leadership, a nonprofit organization. This is a fundraiser that supports bakers around the community. Cookie Fest will be held at The Well, located right off of James Garner Avenue from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tickets are available at loveworksleadership.org. And tonight at Riverwind Casino will be the Jake FM Birthday Bash. This event will feature John Morgan and Cam Allen and begins at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, Hosty will be playing at Rock House Bar, and Saturday morning, Maura McAndrew will be playing at Yellow Dog Coffee Company for their Saturday morn at the Roastery beginning at 11. Kariana, Kevin, back to you.
High schools across the state are ready to battle it out for the state title.
We have how one local high school is looking to chase down glory for the first time in over 30 years.
And do not let the sunshine out there fool you. We have the threat of severe weather moving in later on. I'll have the details after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Thank you so much for joining us. We are starting to see some sunshine creeping in from those overcast clouds that we've had for much of the day, and we have been seeing those temperatures gradually increase throughout the afternoon as well. We're sitting at 75 right now across Norman under those overcast conditions. Dew point still in the middle 60s and feeling like 77 degrees. Out there across the OKC metro area right now, 75 right here in Norman again, 72 up in Oklahoma City. 68 degrees up in Watonga. They're getting in on some of that cooler weather as we have a warm front beginning to lift up. And so these middle to lower 60s are going to be increasing as we head throughout the next few hours, as well as some warming over in the Panhandle. Guyman currently sitting at 75 degrees, and that is due to a dry line that is setting up. And this dry line is going to be increasing the threat for strong to even severe thunderstorms capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, and even an isolated tornado or so. So we do have a medium chance for a tornado for portions of far southwestern Oklahoma. So if you know anybody in Altus, make sure that they are keeping an eye to the sky later on this evening over the next several hours especially. But that is not the only risk. We also have the threat for large hail capable of upwards of baseball size as these storms push from west to east. And as they do, although they will be in a weakening fashion, we cannot let our guard up right here in Norman because we also have the threat for some damaging winds later on tonight and into the overnight hours. So by the time these storms hit, we could be seeing damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. Now, you might be wondering, why are these storms going to be continuing after the sun goes down? Well, we are going to be seeing these temperatures continually in those lower 70s, upwards of the middle to upper 60s for overnight lows. And so we are going to be seeing a lot of warm temperatures out there, a lot of Gulf moisture, and this dry line to the west. And that is going to be setting up the strong to severe thunderstorms by 8 p.m. already along the western portion of the state. As they lift off to the east, we are going to be seeing those showers and storms on our doorstep by about midnight, catching a break after midnight, and then getting in on another round potentially for your Friday. So definitely stick with OU Nightly for the latest updates on that, and definitely our partners over at the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center. And by Saturday, we could be getting in on another round of shower and thunderstorm activity. At this point, looking non-severe, but definitely you want to have multiple ways of receiving your weather warnings and ensuring that you are keeping an eye to the sky again for the day tomorrow, as we are under another marginal to slight risk for severe weather right here in Oklahoma. And by the weekend, we could be seeing upwards of 1/4 inch of rain right here in Norman. So definitely it is going to be a soggy weekend, but ensuring that you have multiple ways of receiving the weather warnings. If a warning is issued for your area, knowing where to go and having that safety plan is going to be crucial these next 48 hours.
Yeah, thanks, Hunter. Talking preparation, I know you'll talk a lot about kind of that instantaneous preparation, but when you have days like this where it's just going to be days and days of risk, how should people be preparing for that?
Yeah, I mean, prepare as early as possible, ensuring that you know where to go if a warning is issued, you know, if it is a tornado or even straight line winds, which can sometimes do as much damage as a tornado, ensuring that you're going in the most interior room of your building or home if you don't have a basement and can't get underground, putting as many walls between you and the storm as possible. That's crucial.
Thank you so much, Hunter, for those tips.
Absolutely.
A Norman High School basketball playoffs are underway. OU Nightly sports reporter Hunter Cornejo has the story on how the Norman Tigers, as they look to win a sixth state championship in boys basketball.
We don't get to dictate that final play, but we got to live in it, lead in it. We got to do our best to execute, but we can't step back.
This time of the year just means more. Every practice and possession, it all comes down to this: a chance at everlasting glory. For Norman High, they're just trying to take it one game at a time.
The postseason is all about a lot of single plays. So just being in that moment and just that moment and not getting to the next moment and not living in the previous moment.
In the top left is head coach Corey Cole, who led Norman in scoring and rebounds on the 1990 state championship team. Cole believes this 2026 team can do the same.
This team reminds me a lot of 1990 because there's not a ton of size, 6 or 7 guys that do all the work. Dynamic guard play, kind of play the similar style, some Coach Robinson defense.
He keeps it real with us, you know. He likes to, he always brings that up because, I mean, he's been there. He's done it. He knows what it takes.
He is the best coach in high school basketball, and for him to also not only be a great coach, but to have walked it and as a player, so he knows what it's like to be in our shoes.
Going through heartbreak these last 3 years in the state tournament, making it but unable to get out of the quarterfinals, Norman High believes that those moments are going to help them this time around as they look to win their first gold ball since 1999.
I'm thinking about last year just specifically. You know, I fell on the last play last year against Union. You definitely taking these things and want to run with them and do better this year.
Take care of that first game, which we haven't for 3 seasons. That's the elephant that has been on our back. We take care of that. I mean, I love our odds.
For this senior class, winning it all would be a storybook ending.
It's everything you dream of. You little kid shooting on your mini hoop. 3, 2, 1, state championship game winner. That's the kind of stuff you live for.
At Norman High School, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hunter. The 6A state tournament begins Wednesday, March 11th at the Lloyd Noble Center.
And staying on the court, it was a great start in the SEC tournament for OU women's basketball.
And their week is just getting started.
Exactly, and while one basketball team is playing in one tournament, OU men's basketball is hoping to play in another. We will have the predictions to see if there's a chance that men's basketball plays in the mayhem of March. Next in sports. Hello, I'm Natalie Orozco, and it's time for sports. March, 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 a month full of gladness and a whole lot of madness. And OU women's basketball is surely getting in on all of this. Today, Oklahoma faced Florida in the SEC tournament. It was neck and neck at halftime, 40-38, Sooners up, and without Reagan Beers, who was in foul trouble. But not only did she return for the third quarter, so did OU, holding Florida to 7 points. Oklahoma came out on top, 82-64, advancing to the quarterfinals to play against LSU tomorrow. OU would have to win the next 3 games for its first SEC title. And hopefully you didn't think it was all sadness for OU men's basketball. They will face Texas this weekend to end the regular season. A strong finish here will better their chances to be the last team in. And ESPN currently ranks them as the 11th team out. While others counted them out, the Sooners bet on themselves.
Quit by now, you know what I mean? It was definitely a really low period. I mean, people were probably thinking like, man, they might lose every game for the rest of the year, you know what I mean? And we were able to change that around and flip it around and give ourselves a chance to do something special.
As for OU women's gymnastics, they are set for a second double weekend, heading to Arkansas tomorrow, who Oklahoma beat earlier in the season with a score of 198.175. Then hosting Texas Women's University Sunday for Senior Day after a successful SEC championship.
It definitely means a lot. You know, we still have Arkansas at their place, very tough place to compete. We know we have our work cut out for us there, but these guys did some pretty remarkable things this season that I haven't seen a Sooners team do.
To the Diamond, OU baseball is set for a 4-game series at home against Santa Clara. Oklahoma is coming off a midweek win against Dallas Baptist, using 8 different pitchers, leaving DBU's offense scoreless for the first time this season. And it really takes one thing.
That's the deal about confidence. You got to continue to try to build it every time you're out there. It's just an amazing game because of it's really you're trying to every day is build confidence where it makes those guys feel invincible.
Tonight in the NBA, Trae Young will be making his debut for the Wizards after being sidelined for some injuries. And Austin Reeves is aiding the Lakers while averaging over 17 points and takes on Denver tonight. And Jeremiah Fears is averaging over 13 points a game, and his Pelicans take on the Sacramento Kings. And last night, OKC brought some thunder to New York. Chet Holmgren pulled through for 28 points and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 26, including a big clutch 3 that came in at the nick of time for OKC to strike down the Knicks 103-100. Kevin, Cariana.
Thanks, Natalie. Coming up, a place best known for their burgers, cheese curds, and frozen custard.
Yeah, we're going to have what fast food chain could be coming to Oklahoma when we return.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Jackson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. 2 people have been charged after an investigation found contraband was being mailed to the Cleveland County Detention Center. During routine checks, jail staff found mail containing K2, which is a synthetic form of cannabis. The sender and inmate received the drugs are both being charged. The case is still under investigation. Kevin, Cariana, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Lauren. Hunter, what can you tell us about staying prepared for tonight's severe weather?
Yeah, if you guys aren't already signed up, make sure you sign up for Next Gen Weather Call. You can have those text and call reminders anywhere you want at only $12 per year. So ensure that you're signed up for that to stay ahead of tonight's severe weather and the rest of the spring.
Thanks, Hunter. If you like cheese curds, you might want to listen up. There's a chance for Culver's to come to Oklahoma, and you could be the one to run it.
Culver's has announced on its website that they are open to franchise opportunities in Oklahoma. Right now, the Wisconsin-based chain is in 26 states.
So if you're interested in starting up a Culver's franchise, you can check it out on their website for more information.
Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Kiriana Gamboa. Be sure to watch OU Nightly weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.